Thank you. Say what?
We're doing that good.
Yeah, I'll say. Is there anything I need to know about the roads? Getting to Unita Canyon and Three Fingers?
We did okay with this truck. It wasn't too bad.
Okay.
Just go slow.
All right. I heard Unita's easier access to the trailhead there.
Yeah.
Great. Have a good one. Well, I got lucky on the timing there. Just look for mile marker 147, which is 2 miles west of the turnoff for Hanksville if you're going on I-70 westbound. Today's September 25th, 2017, and I was able to get away for a couple days and come down here and explore the San Rafael Reef Wilderness Study Area. Plan to go on a loop entering in through Univa Canyon, walking behind the reef for some time to where there's a water source and a decent camp spot, and then exiting out the Three Finger Canyon area where I want to check out some petroglyphs that are there. I made it through the first water drainage about 3.5 miles after the underpass after taking the right turn, but can see that I'll need high clearance to get any further than I got down there. So I'm just going to walk from here and see how I go. It's definitely reminding me a lot of the approach to the Muley Twist Canyons, especially the lower Muley Twist Canyon as I make my way up to the San Rafael swell here. After making my way up Univa Canyon in the hour or two before sunset, came up on the Univa mine. An interesting sight from the outside. The remains of this uranium mine present many dangers to those who get the idea to enter inside, so take care just to admire what remains from the outside, because not only does this mine present the risk of collapse, but there's also a trace of uranium which carries some radioactivity. And to add another layer of danger, there's plenty of rodent droppings there that could contain the hantavirus. With that triple threat of danger, just make sure you're admiring it from the outside and don't be foolish and try to enter inside. As for me, I'm going to continue up a little ways and see what there is to see along the backside of the reef. Getting back behind the reef now, where I have the option to go north or south for some time behind the reef, is quite a bit more mining wreckage, including what remains of an old log cabin here. So a bunch of wooden planks. Must have been a piece of work to get those up here and built for what I assume was the mining camp. Several tiny adult-size bed frames that remain as well, left over from the uranium mining days here in Univa Canyon. And a spectacular display of changing colors here about an hour or so before sunset.
Pastel walls and painted lights, wordless time and broken. Nothing more than blue dreams.
Today is September 26th, 2017. I entered behind the reef here in San Rafael Swell last night through the Univa Canyon, passing the Univa mine there and camping at the entrance or the mouth of the side canyon that is unnamed and has this water hazard down below me here where I enjoyed some breakfast. You can't really pass through the reef on this canyon without sort of side scaling a 70-degree slope or passing through a water hazard of unknown depth down there, at least at the moment. So it is noted as a dead end in both of the resources I consulted for this route. I'm going to head further south down through the Three Finger Canyon area where there's a petroglyph that I'd really like to see, crossing back to the east side of the reef and then cutting north to get back to the trailhead where I started. It's a real treat to get back into the Red Rock Canyon country here after many mountain hikes. Was able to even source some water from the cleanest looking puddle that I could find. A puddle that I had to stem over to get to where I am now. It's just above the larger water hazard here in this unnamed side canyon. So I'm just wrapping up some breakfast now and about to get back on the trail and see how I go southbound around through Three Finger Canyon.
Yeah, this route features some light scrambling, but nothing that's especially hand over hand, except for maybe a couple of very short sections. I've only had to really ditch my poles once getting out of that side canyon so far.
Promises and flaunted lies are this time unspoken. No one can hear you scream.
I'm here at the petroglyph panel site in Three Finger Canyon and admiring the pools, or tanks as they're known, for holding water long after rain has fallen. And it's interesting to think that the petroglyph of the three circles connected by lines are most likely signifying this water source. And the petroglyph panel most likely wouldn't be here were it not for these longer-term water sources that we see in front of us here. And with that, I'm about to cross back over to the east side of the reef and continue north back to the trailhead.
The loop trip I did back and forth across the reef only went about 9 miles or so. There was maybe 6 hours on the trail altogether. It made for a nice quick overnight, as is common here in southern Utah, a combination of pioneer or mining history in this case to go along with the native history with the variety of petroglyphs in Three Fingers Canyon. Special thanks to Road Trip Ryan for posting the details on his website. Definitely a nice loop that can be done as a day trip. In typical Amos fashion though, I stretched that into an overnight and got lucky with some fantastic weather as well. I would definitely recommend some high clearance though, as I'm finding out on my way out. It's the 10 inches of standard clearance, even with four-wheel drive, isn't quite enough to get up and over the sort of high center points without scraping on the bottom. So there is a couple options to park the car before entering into those deeper sort of high clearance challenges. So I can definitely recommend that. Didn't see any other hikers out on the trail, just a few rodents and some wildcat scat and a turkey vulture or two.
That's all for now. See you next time.
On the next Backpacker Diaries.
Planning to start from Wooden Shoe Trailhead, descend down into Wooden Shoe Canyon, connect with Dark Canyon, going eastbound, and finishing at Peavine Canyon, heading back south and exiting out of Peavine Trailhead to complete the loop. Little over 40 miles, and typically people take 4 nights to complete the trip.